Now we are stepping into one of the most critical skills in lie detection, establishing a baseline. If you don't get this right, almost everything else can lead you in the wrong direction. Here's the core idea: you cannot detect deception without knowing what normal looks like for that person. Every individual has their own natural way of speaking, moving, and reacting. Some people naturally avoid eye contact, others use a lot of hand gestures. Some speak quickly, others pause more often. None of this means anything on its own, because it's just their baseline behavior. So instead of asking, is this behavior suspicious? You start asking a better question: is this different from how they normally behave? That difference, that change, is where meaning begins. So, how do you establish a baseline? You start by observing the person in a low pressure, neutral context. Ask simple, non threatening questions. How was your day? What did you do yesterday? How do you usually spend your weekends? As they respond, you quietly observe their natural speaking speed, their tone and pitch, their typical level of detail, their normal body language and gestures, their eye behavior and facial expressions. You are not analyzing for lies here, you are just learning their default pattern. Now, once you have that baseline, you can begin to introduce more specific or slightly sensitive topics. This is where things get interesting. If their behavior stays consistent, great. That suggests comfort and alignment. But if you notice clear shifts, that's your signal. Their voice becomes tighter or slower, their gestures reduce or become rigid, their language becomes vague or overlay carefully, their posture changes or they create distance. These changes don't prove deception, but they highlight moments of increased cognitive or emotional load. And those moments are where you focus your attention. Here's another key point: baselines are not static. A person's behavior can change due to fatigue, stress, environment, or mood. So you need to stay flexible. You are not creating a fixed profile. You are continuously observing and updating your understanding. Also, the more time you spend around someone, the more accurate your baseline becomes. With strangers, your baseline will be limited. With people you know well, your accuracy increases significantly. Now, here's the biggest mistake to avoid: assuming your baseline is correct too quickly. Don't rush it. Don't label behavior after one or two observations. Give it time, look for consistency, because a false baseline leads to false conclusions. So, keep this simple framework in mind. First, observe normal behavior, then introduce variation, finally, watch for changes. Because in lie detection, the signal is not the behavior, it's the deviation from the baseline. And once you master this, everything else, body language, voice language patterns, starts to make much more sense. You are no longer guessing, you are comparing.